My parents had me very young, like in high school. They had an on-again, off-again relationship for my childhood, with my maternal grandparents actually doing most of the parenting until I was 12, and they got married and got their act together. They had my sister 2 years after that. I was always a second thought for them. Our vacations were suited to an infant. Our home was full of stuff for a little kid, not a teen, whatever. I got out of school, and my grandpa helped me get an apprenticeship as a welder. I enjoy the work, and the money's great. I have my own rig now and just bought a house. My sister's into ballet, and she's really good. She has an opportunity to go to a summer program, but it'll cost a lot of money. My parents can't afford it all. They asked me to help, and I said no. They said I should help her because she looked up to me. I said no. They said that I make more money than I need, and they'll have to go into debt for her to go on this program. I offered to give them back all the money they spent on my extracurricular activities as my contribution. They said I was being an idiot because when I was young, they couldn't afford to pay for the stuff I was interested in. I pointed out that they're old and they still can't afford crap. My grandparents said I was too harsh for how I phrased it, but they know that my parents did nothing for me growing up. Am I the idiot? Edit. The training program includes flights and room and board and everything. It was about $20,000. They're asking for $20,000? Are they out of their minds? That's some sugar-free audacity. If you ever wish to gift your sister anything, that's your prerogative, but absolutely 100% not your responsibility. OMG, and then to guilt you for being better off than them? Forget that. Not the idiot. And I'm proud of you. LOL. $20K? What? What kind of school is this? Is it in Paris? They need to stop smoking whatever they're smoking to ask for that amount of cheese. That's what entitled and messed up parents always do. Mine did that. Over-favored spoiled child and neglect the other when we're all in a better place than them. They would guilt us. Right? If little sis was so talented, she'd be getting scholarships. $20K is what you pay when your parents are convinced you're going to be the next Instagram ballerina and they've found some elite program promising to get her there. Your parents can pick up extra jobs, take out a loan, or drop the issue. Such programs are a want, not a need. Exactly. Ballet is extremely expensive to pursue and pays peanuts. Lots of professional ballerinas are being subsidized by their parents, and this is after the pricey tuition for these pre-professional programs, point shoes, costumes, YAGP competitions, etc. Unless your sister is a phenom, in which case she'd be rolling in scholarship offers, there is little to no chance she goes on to have a career if your parents can't afford one summer program. This is to say, if anyone tries to tell you that you're ruining her chance at a professional ballet career by refusing to pay, I assure you that you are not. I offered to give them back all the money they spent on me as my contribution. This made my petty self so freaking happy. I love that response. You offered them nothing because they gave you nothing. You earned it with what seems to be no help from them. How many kids in your situation grow up messed up because of parents like that? And now they want a handout for getting lucky you weren't messed up? Ha! Good job getting to where you are in life. Support your grandparents as they age. They're the ones who have been there for you. For background, my husband Kyle and I have been married for 3 years, and I'm 5 months pregnant with our first child. He and I are 30 and 29, respectively. Following a head injury he received from a car accident last year, Kyle has epilepsy. He probably has a seizure once every 3 months, even with medication. Yesterday, after I got home from work, I heard Kyle fall in the bathroom, and when I went to check on him, he was seizing. Kyle was working from home when this happened, and his work team had a big project deadline, so he had also been swamped with work. Kyle was feeling super woozy after the seizure, so we decided he needed to take it easy for the rest of the day. At one point, he asked me to get his glasses from his office, which I did. While getting his glasses, I noticed that he had 50+ new messages from various supervisors and coworkers. I didn't read any of them, But when I noticed how many messages were popping in there, I messaged my cousin, one of his bosses, privately and said that while he's fine now, Kyle just had a seizure. He'll probably not be available for the rest of the day. My cousin was understanding and said not to worry about it. When I told Kyle that I messaged my cousin, he was upset with me because he didn't think it was okay for me to message them without telling him first. He yelled at me for crossing a boundary, something he later apologized for. His thinking is that it wasn't my place to message his supervisor because he never told me that it was something I could do for him. I didn't want his coworkers to think that he just went MIA for no reason or that something was seriously wrong with him, but I can see how this might have been overbearing. I apologized to Kyle already for the sake of making peace, and I won't reach out to anyone on his behalf again. I honestly want to know if I was in the wrong here, because I didn't have any bad intentions, and I feel like he overreacted. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. Yes, you should have asked him first, if that was something he wanted you to do for him. He may not have been comfortable sharing certain details with your cousin, or just wanted to contact them about it on his own terms. Medical issues are very personal, so taking this upon yourself without permission wasn't your place. There could also very well be an added layer of discomfort here for him due to his boss being family. Although you didn't mean to do anything inappropriate, it's about impact over intent. Perhaps another approach would be, hey, I noticed you're getting a lot of chat messages. Would it be okay to let my cousin know what's happening? People at work may or may not know what's going on, and they may not want to provide the level of information you may have provided. Do you realize that people who just had a seizure are typically not lucid for some time after? Being upset after a seizure is a sign that lucidity hasn't returned. After a seizure, we're much more prone to being upset about things without making any rational emotional connections to what's happening. The brain is still trying to sort itself out after the electrical storm, and it makes lots of fleeting, mistaken corrections. OP, you are not the idiot. I hope that if something similar happened to me, my husband would speak with my supervisor. They'd be worried sick if I disappeared in the middle of the day. I don't understand the people saying you're the idiot when you're trying to ensure that no one at your husband's job is left high and dry by his sudden disappearance. He wasn't in a position to notify his employers himself, for goodness sake. But do you guys have a plan now for the future? Should it happen again? Also, hope he's doing better. I'm a hairstylist. I had a mom book her daughter in for a trim and a color with me. I'm not their usual stylist. The stylist they usually go to is on holiday, and I was recommended to them by a friend. When the mom booked the trim and color, she specified that her daughter had long hair and asked if that was okay for me to handle. The receptionist said yes, because I do have a lot of clients with waist-length hair. Waist length is usually the longest hair I'll cut. I've never had a client with hair longer than this. Unfortunately, I can't kneel down for long due to issues with my knees. I'm awaiting surgery. When they turned up for the appointment, the daughter had her hair up in a bun, so I couldn't see the full length of her hair. The mom thanked me for fitting her daughter in. She said that when their usual stylist isn't available, getting her daughter an appointment can be difficult due to her hair length. When the daughter sat in my chair, I asked her to take her hair down so that I could brush through it before we started her ombre color. When she took her hair down, I noticed it was much longer than I expected. I asked her how long her hair was, and she said it was knee length. She brushed her hair back so that it was all going down the back of the chair, and it was well past the length I was comfortable cutting. I would have had to kneel down to color and cut her hair. I waved the mom over and told the daughter to remove the gown. I apologized to the mom and told her that I couldn't cut her daughter's hair due to its length. I explained that it was too long for me to cut, as I couldn't kneel down to cut hair. Understandably, the mom was upset that I was refusing to cut her daughter's hair. She demanded the booking fee back. I informed her that the £50 booking fee was non-refundable and that she should have been told this when booking. She then demanded to speak to the salon manager. I told her I'd get her the owner. The owner of the salon did refund her money. However, she told me that I shouldn't have taken the booking if I couldn't cut hair that long. I told her that the length had never been specified to me. The receptionist was just told long, and that long hair in our area is usually no longer than waist length. She knows I can't kneel without being in pain. The mom has since been writing on the Facebook page of the salon, complaining that I refuse to cut her daughter's hair because she can't actually cut long hair. I feel bad that the mom is upset about this, but at the same time, it was never specified how long her daughter's hair actually was. Am I the idiot for refusing to cut extremely long hair? You are the idiot. There seems to be a miscommunication here. Mom thought she had communicated everything she needed to. She didn't have any way of knowing that there is a length that you can't cut because of your knee issues. When you stray into idiot territory is how you responded to her when she asked for her booking fee to be refunded. Booking fees stop people from not showing up and wasting an appointment that could have been given to someone else. Immediately refusing the refund for something that wasn't her fault, but rather an unfortunate circumstance, was terrible customer service. Booking fees stop people from not showing up and wasting an appointment that could have been given to someone else, and by misleading the receptionist about how much hair her daughter had. She just did that. Knee length is more than long in my opinion. That's the kind of length you alert a salon to when scheduling an appointment. OP is not the idiot. I disagree. You are the idiot. For about 3 times the booking fee, you can purchase a chair that would be high enough to accommodate any length of hair, assuming it's not dragging on the floor. I suspect that some type of booster chair would work too in a pinch, or just set the whole chair on a raised platform. There are solutions to your kneeling problem that can be solved relatively inexpensively without you requiring to turn customers away. I have an Instagram account dedicated to photos and short videos of food from local restaurants in my city. I don't turn meals into a whole photo shoot production when I go out, but I like to snap a few photos of everything as it comes out. I've got about 1,000 followers. It's just a hobby for me, but I've made friends with some other bloggers, and we like to go out and get pics together and try new restaurants. I prefer doing this with my foodie girls because my boyfriend hates it and will go out of his way to take a big bite of food or mess up his plate with his fork before I can snap any pics. He rolls his eyes when I take pics of my own food, so I pretty much stopped bothering him when we went out together. Money's been tight lately because of some medical bills, so I haven't been able to go out to eat with my foodie girls, and the infrequent date with my boyfriend is the only chance I get to go out to eat. So I had to sit him down and have a let me just enjoy things conversation with him, and told him I was going to take pics of my own food when we went out, and could he please just not be immature about it. And since we alternate who pays for dates, I told him I would appreciate it if he could spare the 30 seconds for me to snap a pic of the appetizer plus his meal on nights that I was paying. I got sort of a half-hearted, do whatever you want confirmation. Sunday was my turn to pay, and he let me take a pic of the appetizer with minimal fussing. But then when the entrees came out, I went to snap a pic of his, and he messed it up with his fork. Then he reached over and stirred up my pasta to ruin the photo of my meal. I was so angry that I refused to pay for his half at the end of the meal, which made him angry because he wouldn't have ordered a cocktail if he knew I was going to skip my turn. He says I owe him one because I don't get to just decide not to pay according to our agreement after we've already ordered. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot, but girl, why are you even dating someone who clearly has no respect for you or your hobbies? Please ask yourself why you're in a relationship with a selfish child. If he doesn't want you to do what you enjoy, then he's not the person for you. You have a nice hobby. It's not destructive, physically or emotionally. It's something fun. Plus, he ordered extra because you were paying. What a cheap idiot. Dump him. Yeah, keep the food, ditch the boyfriend. I thought it was a good compromise that he gets to eat his food while you take quick pictures of yours. But why did he have to go out of his way to ruin yours? That's just super immature and petty. No rational person gets this upset about their partner wanting to snap a few quick photos of their dish to the point they intentionally sabotage the photos. I don't get people who go out of their way to actively ruin other people's fun. He totally could have just started to eat his food, but to mess with yours is just not acceptable. I'm in a relationship where my boyfriend goes out of his way to make my sorry butt happy, drives to a special store to get me ice cream, lactose intolerant, starts cooking at 8 p.m. on a Sunday because I'm hungry, etc. I, of course, do stuff for him too, but he's just the best. To me, a relationship has to be being alone. Someone ruining my fun and peace doesn't cut it. So I, 30 female, got married. Yay! It was my dream wedding. Everything went off without a hitch, except for one small thing. My niece's teen dress. It was a white, lacy, knee-length dress. She even wore lace elbow-length gloves. Honestly, it looked just like a wedding dress. I didn't say anything to her or her parents, my brother and sister-in-law, in the moment, and I tried my best to ignore it. But when I got the first drafts back from our photographer, I couldn't stand when I saw her in the white dress standing next to me. My husband saw how upset I was and suggested we pay extra to Photoshop my niece's dress to light blue. We thought it through, and since we had some budget left, we went for it. Well, last week we got the final photos back, and they looked great. I could hardly even tell that my niece was originally wearing white, and she still looked really nice. I posted some of the photos on social media, and my sister-in-law messaged me and was angry that I photoshopped my niece without checking with her, my sister-in-law first. She accused me of thinking my niece was ugly and of body shaming her. To be clear, I did not have her body photoshopped, only the color of her dress and gloves. I don't think I'm in the wrong, but this situation has been stressing me out. So, am I the idiot? Not the idiot. If she didn't want the dress to be photoshopped, she shouldn't have let her daughter attend a wedding in a lacy white dress. The nerve of that woman. Sister-in-law is ticked. She's probably the one who helped pick the dress and the gloves and encouraged this. Niece may not know, doubtful at her age, but sister-in-law did. Exactly this. Sister-in-law knew that she couldn't wear a white dress to upstage OP without getting side eyes, so she had her 16-year-old daughter wear it so they could plead ignorance. She knows exactly why her daughter's dress was photoshopped, and she's going to pretend she thinks it was her daughter who was photoshopped so that she can pick the fight she always wanted. Sister-in-law thinks she's so clever, but everybody knows. I've heard an excuse for this before that was basically the sister-in-law was super religious and thought it was inappropriate for a non-virgin bride to wear white. She dressed her pure teenage daughters in white to give a middle finger to the floozy bride. Spoiler alert, the daughters weren't virgins either. Absolutely diabolical. I love it. Pretty funny that sister-in-law wanted you to ask permission to Photoshop the picture, but she didn't get your permission for her daughter to wear a wedding dress to your wedding. Considering that it bothered you, I think you handled it as tastefully as possible.